Welcome back to the Lead Gen Playbook webinar series. Today's webinar number 8 out of 9. We're talking about snapshots, which are going to help us scale at Lightspeed. If you are new to HighLevel, we're the all-in-one sales and marketing platform that agencies and consultants use. They white label it, resell it to their clients. We are the all-in-one toolkit, everything that you need to execute successful campaigns. We've got a 14-day free trial at gohighlevel.com. And today's webinar is number 8 in the series of 9. They're all on our blog. You'll get a recap email with links to all of them. And so, yes, this is recorded, rest assured. So, do you want to be a 7-figure agency? Of course, we all do, right? That's kind of the major milestone of our industry. We want to gross over $1 million a year by helping other folks, other businesses succeed. And we at HighLevel know that agencies who get to that final stage of the poll, systems providers, all-in-one software providers, reach and maintain the 7-figure status more so than those who don't. The reason for that is, and we'll talk a lot about this next week when we talk about SaaS mode, is that SaaS mode and selling the system and not focusing on leads is what land sticky clients. So even if they decide they don't want your ad services or they don't want your SEO anymore, they're going to continue to pay for the system. And that's very important. Again, we're going to talk a lot about that next week. But in order to get there, we need to understand this. In order to evolve through the stages that we talked about in that poll, your tech stack historically got more and more complex. We know, we've already talked about this, that when you land a client, the average agency, it takes about 2 weeks to get their first campaign off the ground. We've talked about why that's a problem, right? We talked about the solution, easy automated wins, going back to our very first webinar of this series. But understanding that it takes 2 weeks to launch is important. And it makes sense because look at this, like this is a graphic of what we do, right? We do funnel marketing. If you look at all the pieces that are in there, the anatomy of a funnel, there's a lot going on, right? We need to build custom fields to house information. We need forms and surveys to put those fields in. We need funnel pages or websites to put the forms and surveys on. We need the leads to go into like a CRM. We need automation, automating emails, text messages, voicemail drops, all these types of things. We need to collect payments. We need opportunities and pipelines to push them through. We need reporting, call tracking. All of this stuff is what goes into a great marketing campaign. And this leads to that problem of like, yeah, I get it, but it takes me time to get all this stuff together, right? It takes me a couple of weeks to get a new client off of the ground. It becomes a real nightmare to manage. If you're early on in your agency journey, which it seems like a lot of us on this call are, you're going to have to figure out how you're going to deal with these problems. But luckily, you're here, and HighLevel snapshots can really change the game for you because we can build everything in one place, and then we can duplicate it into what we call a snapshot, clone it, and use it over and over again. What is in a snapshot? Well, a snapshot creates a copy of an entire sub-account that can be redeployed in a click. So we can then apply this snapshot to any new customer, and you're essentially starting from third base, right? So the landing page, the form, the pipeline, the automation, the calendar, the appointment automation, review requests, all of this is already pre-configured, and now you can just roll it out to your next client. What's really cool, and again, we're going to talk about this more next week in SaaS mode, is you can even attach your snapshot to your SaaS plans, and it automatically gets used every time somebody buys. So super powerful stuff. Snapshots can take your onboarding down to hours or even less than an hour, when previously it took us days, if not weeks, to get people going and set up on all of the different things that we need to do. Creating snapshots in HighLevel is super easy. We just go into our agency view. We go to settings, account snapshot, we hit create new. It's going to ask you to give it a name, and then it's going to ask you, okay, which sub account do you want to make a snapshot from? And then when we use snapshots, there's a couple of ways to do them. We can share the link, which I'll show you in a second, or you can actually just load it up when you go to create a new customer. So let's check this out. So if I'm in my agency account here and I'm not in SaaS mode, I'm on the 97 plan or the 297 plan, and I want to create a new sub account for a client. I'm going to hit add account. And now here we can see we've got some default industry snapshots, which we're actually in the process of redoing, which is exciting. But over in these tabs, we can see our own snapshots or snapshots that we may have imported from other people. We can actually share them. So I could select one of my own snapshots, hit go, and then it will create this new account using this snapshot right here. We can also load snapshots into an existing account. So let's say this is one of my clients here, Acme Corp. Somebody shared a snapshot with me and I want to load it up into that account. Well, I can just hit view details here. And then I can go actions, load snapshot. And here I can go ahead and select from all of the snapshots that I either created or that I have imported. So we can use them when we create new accounts, we can load them into existing accounts, and then we can actually even share them as well. So we just talked about that. If we share a snapshot, so if we go settings, snapshot, and I'm actually going to do this in a couple of minutes, we can get the share link. And when we get that share link, it's actually automatically tied to your affiliate link. So when you share a snapshot, if it's somebody that hasn't used HighLevel before, they're actually going to sign up through you because of the snapshot that you shared. So super easy to create them. We can take it even further with custom values. So this is when things get really exciting. So this really turbocharges your scalability, and it can be used to automate the customization of a client's account. What am I talking about? Okay, let's think about this. Let's say I specialize in dental marketing, right? Or let's say I don't even have a niche, but I always do the same thing. Claim book, right? We used to do this at my old agency. We worked with clients in a bunch of different industries, but we always said, hey, we need an offer that people can claim, and then we're going to nurture them into a booking for you. So when we would be onboarding them, we would be like, okay, what is your offer? And so in our snapshot, we had something like this. Hey, congrats for claiming our offer name. The next step is to book an appointment. Well, what if our offer I wanted to customize? I could create a custom value that would give me a key that looks like this, squiggly bracket, something, and then two more squiggly brackets. And anywhere in the system that I use that, it will auto-populate with the value that I set in custom values. So think about that. In my campaign, I'm going to have multiple emails, right? I'm going to have a nurture sequence that's like, hey, thanks for claiming our offer name. The next step is to book. Hey, I see you still haven't booked. You claimed our offer name. The next step is to book. So without custom values, every time I would get a new client, I would have to go edit all of those emails and text messages, right? To change the name of the offer, change the booking link, all these types of things. We don't have to do that because we have custom values that are these placeholders that dynamically insert information so that we can use the placeholders when we build our snapshot. And then when we load up a new client, all we have to do is go change those values once, and they automatically change all over the system. So it is incredible when it comes to scaling and reducing setup time. I'm going to show you a really cool example of this, because we often think of custom values like this, right? The standard ones, but we can actually use custom values in all sorts of ways. And let me show you an example of that. So check this out. Let's say I work with dentists. I run the same offer all the time. It's claim a free teeth whitening. I know it works. So I've got my landing page built. I know this landing page works, right? So I'm going to use it for each client. Now, each client has a different name. They're in a different place, and their brands are different, right? They have a different logo and they have a different branding color. I can use custom values for all of these things. So check this out. This logo is actually a custom value to a logo URL. This business name is a custom value for the business name. This city is a custom value for the city name. And this blue is their custom brand color. So check this out. Let's say I just got a new client, a new dental client. I'm going to come over to their custom values and I am going to change a couple of things. Well, they're not called Mr. Dentist. They're called Bob's Dentistry. And Bob's Dentistry, once this saves, is located not in Philadelphia, but in Tampa. And Bob's color, his main brand color, is not blue. It's, and I don't know if you guys can see, I don't know if you can see this modal. I have a Chrome extension called Colorzilla. So I'm just gonna grab a different color. So let's say Bob's brand color is like an orange. So I'm gonna grab the color code for that. And I'm gonna change his main brand color here. Hit save. Now, once I've done that, and once this saves, if we go back and we refresh this page, check this out. Boom. Bob's Dentistry in Tampa can help. My brand color changes, and if I would have changed the logo URL, that would have changed too. Think about what that means. You can go build whole websites, landing pages, all these things that you can customize across the system, save them in your snapshots, and then in your onboarding, you just collect this information and you go change it in one place, and then boom, everything dynamically changes. You can actually, as a next level tip, use the API to automatically set these values. So if you don't know what I mean by that, you could hook up with a developer and they could help you. But basically, you can automate the process of setting these values so that you don't even have to manually do that. But the point is, once you go set them, boom, all this stuff automatically happens and it's all sitting there waiting for your next client in your snapshot. So let's check out what else we have. This is super cool. You make a snapshot, you use it, and then you figure out, holy smokes, you know, we A/B tested a landing page and this new one's actually better or something, whatever you need to change. So you go change it in your snapshot, but then you're like, shoot, I want all my clients that are using the snapshot to get this change. Well, we can actually go update the snapshot and push it into all the accounts that are using it. And when we do that, we get all these granular controls here. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this, but basically we go to settings, snapshot, we make our updates, we refresh the snapshot, and then we hit push. And this is going to give us a bunch of options. So I don't have any sub accounts using this snapshot. So that's a bad example, but maybe I'll get lucky on, I don't know. Let's see. Nope. But what it looks like is this. So it'll show you a list of all of the sub accounts that are using the snapshot, and you can select them all, or you can skip some of them. Then it'll say, okay, on the second step here, we can see everything that's in it. So it's saying, okay, look, I see X amount of calendars in this snapshot. Did you want to overwrite the calendars, or do you want to skip the calendars? Because maybe you're just specifically pushing one change. So we can then go and, you know, filter down to exactly what we want to update as we're making this push. And then it'll actually even surface possible conflicts. So it'll say, hey, okay, what you're telling me is I'm going to go overwrite, you know, forms. And there's one form in here that's called the same thing as what you're going to push. Are you sure you want to do that? And so then you say, yeah. So it's super granular, and it even has sort of a safety step built in. But boom, once you get to the end, you hit go and it goes and it updates those snapshots and all of those sub accounts that are using it. So I'm actually going to do some of this right now to show you. Let me make sure I'm at the right point. Yes. So this demo that I built out is actually in the new version of the affiliate snapshot that I'm going to share with you guys right now. Now, I haven't updated my snapshot yet because I wanted to do this live so that we could all do it together. So I'm going to find that snapshot. And maybe I'm not in the right account. Let's see. Wait, no, I have to be. My snapshots, refresh. And once they load, affiliate, giveaway. Okay, so here's the snapshot. First, I'm going to rename it because today is what, April 12th. All right, and now I'm going to refresh it. So this is going to take a fresh snapshot of that sub account. And now if you guys were my clients and you had sub accounts in here, I could just push these updates to you like we just talked about, but you're not. So I need to share the link again with you. So I'm going to hit share. I'm going to get a permalink, get link. It's going to spit me out the link. And you can see how there's already an affiliate UTM parameter in there. I'm going to strip that out because if you came here from an affiliate, I don't want to overwrite their cookie. So let me get rid of that. And the rest is what you need. So I'm going to throw this into chat right now. If you want to grab a copy of this funnel page that I set up, the snapshot also has those custom values in there. So you can go play with this yourself. Go ahead and grab that snapshot and you can load it up. So that is snapshots. It looks like we have a few questions. We've got plenty of time to go through Q&A, which is great. But again, if you're new to HighLevel and you want to try it out, we have a 14-day free trial at gohighlevel.com.